Hi, it's Reagan with More Designs, and I'm here to share my recipe cards for the Collage Melange group over at Your Paper Pantry. And I didn't get to share my card last month, but last month it was veggies, so you had to do soup or soup or salad. And this was the front of my card, and actually all the cards had a different pattern paper than this, but I ran out, so on mine I used this, but it was like a green and yellow plaid, similar, but like this. And then I just added 2 photo mats, and these are from, I think these are from the Graphics Fairy. Actually, I'm not sure. I will look it up and put it on the screen. And then I added this ribbon with some red line tape and made it all wavy. These are up on dimensional dots to make a pocket for the photo mats. And then on the back I stitched on some fabric, some muslin kind of fabric, and on a circle spiral clip I put a bottle cap. So I don't know if you can see. I put a bottle cap with, it says veggie salads and sides in it, and I inked the edges with white, and then put some, I think I used Crystal Effects from Stampin' Up, but it's the same as Glossy Accents, and I just slid that on there to hold my recipe card on. And I stamped this with a Stampin' Up stamp onto craft cardstock, and there is that card. So, and then this month, I just sent these out yesterday, or the day before, I can't remember. Anyways, so these are my cards for this month, and we were supposed to do a poultry, a chicken or a turkey, and so for my card I did a little chicken, and I used feathers for the little, I don't know what it's called, on the head, and then some felt flour from for the underneath of his beak, and some googly eyes, and I popped his head up on a pop dot and made his little body, tucked some tags in there, style labels tags for notes, and then this little flower has my information on it. And I used paper from GCD Studios. It is called Margarita. So, really pretty papers. I got this paper pad at Big Lots for $5, you guys. I got 2 GCD Studio paper pads. They have like 4 or 5 different varieties, but I got 2 of them. They're $5. Anyway, so that's what I did on the front, and then this, so he makes a pocket. And then on the back, I did some felt flowers with a green button, some red trim, a little pocket with my recipe on there, and that is my card. And I thought that I would make one for you. So I'm going to try to do this quickly because I don't know how much time I have. So what I did was I cut a 4x6 piece of just packaging. This is from my ATG gun, but I used cereal box as well. And then I used my Scotch quick dry adhesive to put on the papers. So, and I've already mailed them out, so the one I showed you is for my sister, and because I try to make her an extra one so that she can have a little recipe book as well, and then this one is going to be mine. So if I mess it up, it's not a big deal. And my goal when I made these is I'm always distressing and inking like that. I love to ink the edges. I like the way it looks, and I always seem to do that. So my goal this time was to not ink the edges, but I ended up inking the edges on the on the chicken because it kind of needed something to define the edges. So that's not very straight, but we'll roll with it. And then on the back, and I usually take, I have a bone folder, but I like the Pampered Chef little scraper, and I use that to flatten the paper all out. And then on the back, and I think I made 12 recipe cards. I think I used like 5 or 6 pieces of designer cardstock to make all 12. This is what the back of that one looks like, but I used the orange. So, let's see. This one's cut a little short, but no big deal. Alright. Okay. And then, let's see, I take my scissors. Just trim. Uh-oh. Just trimming the excess off. And then on the back side, let's see, this is the front. Okay. Then on the back side, I used my eyelet border punch by Stampin' Up! To do the border on a piece of the same line, different pattern paper. So, whoops. Granted, I had more, I was, you know, these didn't take long to put together, but I was being more careful than I am right now as far as gluing goes. And that goes on like so. And then to add a little bit of interest, I cut a strip of this green cardstock, or this green pattern paper, which is actually from, I think it's from Mikasa. I think it's like a 1/2 inch strip, I believe. And this is just to give the little border punched pocket some extra oomph. So I just put that on there like that. My children are supposed to be taking a nap, but they're screaming at me instead. Okay, I think that's crooked, but that's alright. Okay, so there is my page so far. And let me see if my glue gun is hot. Not really. Okay, so then I took some pattern paper and I printed the recipe off on my computer. Okay, and I just stuck that on there like so. Uh-oh, I got some glue or something on my... Okay, and then for the beak, I took a piece of pattern paper, and I'm not sure, I think this is from the, it was a scrap from the Hippie Chick stack. I folded it in half, and then I cut it into a beak shape, and I glued it together. And then I used my Tim Holtz Tattered Florals, and I cut out this little flower in red felt, and then I cut the petals apart so that I could use this as for underneath the beak. For the body and the head, for the body I used the large circle right here, and then for the head and the wing I used my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. And I just cut 1 in half to make the wing. I inked all the edges in walnut stain, and I ran it through my Big Kick using the Houndstooth Cuttlebug folder, embossing folder. And then for the flower I used on the pocket, I used my flower layers, and I cut out a big one, and no. I cut out these two. The medium and, not the tiny one, but the small one. Cut out those two with red felt, and then I got a green button. And then you'll need a red feather. And let's see. Let's get this started. Okay, so what I did is I took my body.
Mom, I cleaned up your feathers and your leaves.
Thank you very much. And then I took the little wing, and I put glue on one side of it. Okay, so you just squish his wing up like that so that it gives you a little bit of dimension. And then I took the head, and let's see, where's my feather? I took the head, and I got a feather, and I just put some glue on the top like so, and I estimated where I wanted it, and then squish it on there. And then I took my scissors, which I don't know where my other scissors are right now. Took my scissors and I cut it off. And I actually used some of the leftovers for some of the other birds. Like I pulled it apart like that. and then I cut it and kind of squished it together and laid it down and glued them down so that I didn't waste feathers. And then that's his little poof on his head. And then I took my little flower petal that I had cut off, and I took the back side of my beak and put some on the bottom, put some glue on the bottom. And I used hot glue for a lot of it because I wanted to make sure that it stuck. And I wanted to get them done pretty quick and not have to wait on glue to dry. So there's his little, I don't know what that's called, you guys. Gobbler? No, it's not a turkey. It's supposed to be a chicken. I hope it looks like a chicken and not a turkey. Then you put some on his nose. And I kind of went off of the circle a little bit so it would hang down. And you know what? I didn't get out googly eyes for him. So just 1 second. Alright. So I get my little googly eyes out. And I kind of guesstimated. Put some glue. I just wanted these to be really fun. So there is his face. And then I just cut a little bit of foam tape, Scotch foam tape, and I put it right about there. And I stuck his little head on. And then took my card and my glue gun, and I put a little bit around the edge to make a pocket, and then I put a lot around the head because I wanted the head, and I'm running out of glue stick, so I'm not going to be able to do it. But I put a lot around the head because I wanted it to pop up from the page since the head was on dimensionals. So I just did that. Okay, did that. And then I stuck my styled labels in green behind there. And then I cut this flower out on my Cricut at 2 1/4 on button, on the button feature, and it's this flower right here on the paisley cartridge that Mari so graciously sent me. And I just punched out a 1-inch circle in yellow, it was scrap cardstock, yellow scrap cardstock. I inked around the edge of it in Wild Honey. And I just glued that in the center, wrote my information on the back, and tucked that in there. And then on this, I'm going to do mine a little bit different because I crocheted this little doily. And I actually was trying to make it smaller, and I didn't do the stitches correctly. So it's all wavy because I didn't allow myself enough stitches. So, but it's okay, it's going to work perfect. So I'm going to add this one to mine so that mine will be a little bit different. So I just put, let me get another glue stick. Oh, actually, you know what? I need to do this in a second because I need to glue on my trim. So I put some glue right in the middle. And if you do this quickly, you can do it all the way across. Otherwise, I would suggest that you do it a little bit at a time. So do that, push it down. And I don't have my scissors, the right ones. I have some fabric scissors that I use to trim these. So yeah, I'm gonna have to, oh, sorry, Tugs. That's my cat. Let me, I just bought some new fabric scissors on clearance at Joann's for $4.97. So here's my new scissors. Okay, so we're just going to cut it like that and trim it up over here. And then we will do, let me put my cap on this, then we'll do our flower. So what I did was, I put a little bit of glue in the middle, and I put my green button, and then I put, sorry you guys, my glue stick keeps falling out. Then I put a lot in the middle of this, and I'll show you why in just a second. So I put a lot in the middle of that, and then I put this flower on top. and then you're going to flip it over. And what I did was I pinched it like that. And it just gives your flower a little bit of shape. So get it how you want it. And there you go. So, let's see. Maybe, you know what? I like the way that looks, but you know what? I'm not going to add this. I'll save that for something else. Okay, so then I put glue on the back of my flower, and I stuck it on right there. And then this goes in like so. So that is my recipe card. I hope that you enjoyed watching today. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. And thanks for watching. Bye.